put the brakes on. And he bowled his way for 3.
Lost his balance, it appeared. Also, good news, no casualties there in Celebrity Row.
Knicks 18, the Magic 14. Ewing over Kite. Yes. Well, Patrick Ewing has the hot hand at the start. 5 for 5 from the field. 2 out of 3 from the line for 12 points.
There is no defense for jump shooting like that.
And Vincent able to penetrate. It will not count. It's an offensive foul.
The natural reflex of you, Vincent, when you come into the area of Patrick Ewing to stick that left hand out. And the official saw it that way. He pushed off against the defense.
Here's Brian Williams, Orlando's #1 draft pick, 10th pick overall. We talked about him right at the start. Rookie from Arizona who played so well against the Bulls on Saturday night. He's checked in for the first time. Kicked out by Orlando. Knicks have 12 on the shot clock. The Knicks lead at 20-14. Williams got picked off, allowing McDaniel a hit. Going glass, Brian Williams, who played so well defensively against Chicago the other night, that time got caught on a hard pick. The Knicks take a timeout with 4.5 remaining in the first.
There's nothing else like it on earth, or maybe even in heaven.
Or joining the play defensively.
Bob, take it from me. Now's your chance to catch the hottest show in town in all locations. Judge, you can call 307-7171-2.
I understand you were spotted in the crowd at the Paramount last night.
I was, Marv. Enjoyed it very much. Missed you. I know you were tied up. You would have been there.
Prior commitment. That's a double dribble.
Harry is a unique performer for his advanced age of 24 plus a few months. Unbelievable.
The Knicks lead at 22-14 as we come up on 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. The Knicks in the midst of a 10-2 run. McDaniel with a driving hook. I think you'd like to have that shot back.
The form was nice, but he forgot to look at the rim.
Knicks with a triple team, and it results in the steal. Jackson. So the Knicks have opened up a 10-point lead.
You know, the speed of that fast break was so great, my papers went flying as Jackson went by us about 20 feet away.
You must properly secure your information. Here's Brian Williams. Williams with the rebound, and he's fouled. Foul committed by Oakley. Substitution, Otis Smith. 6-year man from Jacksonville who's had injury problems this season has checked in for the first time. A change on that foul. It is Wilkins, not Oakley. And Brian Williams to the line. Brian Williams, a holdout, which affected his play right at the start. He left Arizona after his junior season, began his college career at Maryland, then transferred to Arizona after sitting out a year. 28 minutes against the Bulls Saturday night. 8 for 11. 19 points, 10 rebounds.
Imagine those people in Chicago Stadium who go to the games religiously and enjoy the usual outcome, which is a win. They must have been in shock the other night. 94-74, fourth quarter, Orlando down, and they come back and win. This guy had 8 out of 11 from the field. Brian Williams was terrific.
I happened to watch the fourth quarter on WGN in Chicago. I was within viewing range out in the Midwest, John, and that was, I couldn't believe what I was watching. You just don't expect the Bulls to blow a 20-point lead. Good hustle by Oakley to get it out to Ewing. And Patrick Ewing is now 6 for 6. The Knicks lead it by 10. Anthony Mason and John Starks getting set to come on. Williams, nice play by Ewing, getting the hand on the ball to break it up. It will be Orlando ball. Here's Starks with Mason, replacing Wilkins and Oakley. Vincent will throw in. Anthony Mason now guarding Terry Catledge. Here's Otis Smith. The Knicks lead it now 26-18. Jackson and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing with McDaniel and Mason. swinging the ball effectively. Jackson. Yes. And the Knicks lead 28-18.
Knicks are picking up with the enthusiasm tonight as they did against Miami the other night when they opened up so fast and interested at both ends of the court. They looked very sharp as they did.
Here's Vincent. And Ewing with the box out. Fired one. Jackson. Oh, that's a backcourt violation.
Red Kite, he was in the momentum of a fast break. And he just pitched it ahead.
He forgot which direction he was going.
It felt so good to be moving like that. Ewing on a nice pitch out. Jackson can't quite hold it. Kite comes up with it, and hey, he sees a man in front of him. Let's keep moving.
Hey, John, if you can't fast break at your end of the court, you go to the other way. I have a feeling we're going to see that highlight from time to time. Here's Ewing. Yes. And the Knicks now lead 30-18. Patrick Ewing 7 for 7, and he's exploded for 16 in this first quarter.
He had to go through an obstacle course, too, on the way to that hoop.
Catledge. Ewing tried to draw the foul. It's a travel on Catledge. 9th turnover committed by Orlando. The Knicks with 5. The Knicks have not turned it over in quite some time. The Knicks are 14 for 20 from the field. They're off to a very fast start. Minute and a half remaining in the first quarter. Coming into tonight, the Knicks with 3 straight wins. They are 4 games in front of the Boston Celtics. Kite with the rebound. And the Knicks now lead at 30-20.
Such a successful player down low. Terry Catledge, night in and night out, shows how tough he is around the basket.
Ewing's first miss, and a loose ball foul is called. Xavier McDaniel picks up the foul. Here's Greg Anthony replacing Mark Jackson, who leads with 2 field goals, 4 points. So Vincent being played by Anthony. We're down to 40 seconds remaining in the first. Crowd wanted to travel on Vincent. Kite to the hook. Greg Kite with his first field goal. And the Knicks lead by 8. Those of you with us on the pregame show are aware of the close-up that Al Troutwich did with the Knicks video coordinator, Bob Salmi, who is busily editing what is taking place here in the first quarter. Oh, almost a backcourt violation by Anthony. Here's McDaniel. Air ball. Ewing stripped. Back comes Smith as time runs out in this first quarter. At any rate, Bob is preparing the tape that the coaches will look at halftime, and we will check out the progress of Bob Salmi's first quarter editing when we return.
There is a gasoline that is clearly advanced. A gasoline that will give you the highest level of engine cleaning for high performance. A gasoline formulated for lower pollution and cleaner air. Who has this gasoline? You know. Phase 4 gasoline from Exxon. For high performance.
Recchi and Hextall, because Hextall adds something, as you just saw. He cleared the puck himself all the way down. Here comes Leach.
Not getting many scoring chances at even strength, and they may have to rely on the power play. Here goes Brind'Amour looking for his 5th shorthanded goal.
On a breakaway, Brind'Amour to the net. Save Richter, rebound, another save. Here's Brind'Amour again. He shoots wide. I don't know how Richter stopped Dineen on the second one.
I thought the puck went in.
Galley plays it around. Flyers, shorthanded, have been absolutely brilliant.
Brind'Amour in particular, he has 4 shorthanded goals in the season. He's a workaholic. And they seem to have the Rangers off balance with their penalty killing.
Flyers have 13 shorthanded goals this season. Messier moves it. Amonte taken away by Howe. Dedeen clears. 30 seconds to go on the rain.
I know it's halftime, and I know it's between quarters, and we'll get started as soon as Troutway gets here.
Hey, Bob.
Hell!
I'm not late, am I?
No, right on time.
I'm glad I left this microphone here. Now, what Bob has been doing is assembling all the video that Pat Riley will select from to show the players what to talk about at halftime. Why don't you point out, Bob, some of the plays that you've been working on?
Okay,
right here?
now, yeah, on the screen here now, as I'm starting these other ones, we've got a couple of pick-and-roll plays here. We can go back to it. Orlando's made an adjustment to the way we've played pick-and-roll, and Matty's come up with a play that we haven't seen yet, and Pat may want to take a look at this as we get to the play.
Looks
here.
great so far, Bob.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. Here it is right here, where they're running pick and roll to the open side of the floor with no one on this side of the floor. Now, we're double-teaming pick and roll and rotating one of our big guys, and they've changed the position of the weak side. Now, we do a good job here. Oakley ends up rotating to the big guy, but what Orlando's trying to do is, in your rotation, get big on small and small on big, and it might be something the coach will want to see and talk about at halftime.
This is something that all your scouting tapes hasn't seen. Is that correct?
This is something new from Orlando. That's correct. So possibly coach will want to look at it and make some adjustments in case we may see it again in the second half.
All right, defensive switches. Bob, thanks for all your help today.
Al, it's been a pleasure.
You've been so hospitable to me.
I'm just a hospitable person.
Bob Salmi, just another man at work, Marv.
Thanks, Al. Brian Williams, not able to hit the second quarter, is underway. Here's Greg Anthony. Rebound, fork between Catledge and Williams, and the end result is a traveling violation. The Knicks with a 30-22 lead on the Magic. Substitutions for the Knicks. Kiki Vandeweghe has come on for the first time. And Terry Catledge is now up front with Greg Kite, Brian Williams, Scott Skiles, who is once again seeing some daylight off the bench. Did play well against the Bulls on Saturday night. Did not face the Knicks at all last Tuesday in Orlando. Here's Anthony, nice move, and the Knicks lead it by 10. So Skiles in the backcourt along with Otis Smith.
Greg Kite showing his inability to block shots as Anthony came in for that layup.
A minute gone by in the second quarter. Bob Albert, John Andres, Al Troutwig, Walt Clyde Frazier from the Garden as Kite is able to get inside, and the Knicks lead is now 8.
Nice move by Williams on the double team. He picked up Kite, who waited just for the precise time to cut and get that pass.
Starks misfiring. Both clubs shot well in the first quarter. Orlando 10 for 16. The Knicks 14 for 23. Both over 60%. Smith for 3.
That was an example of the pick and roll that Bob Salmi was just talking about. They had a mismatch with Anthony on Kite, but they chose to go for the jump shot.
Otis Smith has made it back from knee surgery. It's like Vandeweghe jammed the finger as he tried to cut down low. Vandeweghe with the step. So the Knicks lead is down to 5. They've led by as many as 12.
Scott Skiles did not play against the Knicks last week in Orlando. Always the starter for this team for the first 3 games of the season against the Knicks. Always a man who hurts the Knicks tremendously, but slowly he's getting back into the lineup, coming off the bench, which is a position that Matt Lucas does not like to play Skiles in. He's usually a starter or nothing.
Patrick Ewing sitting down, leaving with 16. Charles Oakley has checked in. Illegal defense was called for the first time against the Knicks. Once again, the Knicks go to the double-up. Skiles for 3. Rebound, Catledge. And he lost it. Mason comes up with it. Starks with a gorgeous setup for Oakley.
Stark beat Otis Smith so badly, I thought he may continue, but he had the good vision to see a wide-open Oakley and get the ball to him.
The Knicks lead at 34-27. Again, the double up, this time on Williams. And Brian Williams able to hit.
I like his movement for a man 6'11". He's fluid.
And Anthony is fouled by Kite. Stanley Roberts will come on. Kite called for his first, and he will sit down, so Roberts is back.
Greg Anthony driving down the court several minutes ago, or moments ago rather, gets squashed by Greg Kite. That had the look of the fast break that Anthony had a few minutes back when he successfully scored over Kite. Kite this time challenged him. He didn't let him do what he did last time when Anthony sailed in right by him.
Now Jeff Turner comes on for the first time. Terry Catlett leaving with 6 points.
Turner's had an up and down year. He started one of the 4 prior games against the Knicks this year. January 14th in Orlando. Shot the ball well, had 17 points.
Orlando with 11 turnovers, and we're early second quarter. Turner with the ball being guarded by Vandeweghe. Jeff Turner was a starter for most of the second half of last season. Catlett fouled. I should say Roberts fouled and able to hit. Charles Oakley attempted to give a hard foul to break it up, but could not prevent the shot.
Nice look by Brian Williams. At 6'11", Williams looking right over his man, Mason, who couldn't bother him. And he found Roberts, which is not difficult to do. Roberts, a nice big target. At 7 feet, 270.
Stanley Roberts has been a very poor free throw shooter. Here's Anthony with the step, yes, and it counts. Foul called on Skiles, who did not like the call from Bill Spooner. Hugh Hollins, Ron Garrettson, Bill Spooner working the game tonight.
This is a mismatch of speed favoring Greg Anthony, and he makes the most of it, sailing by Skiles on that nicely done crossover dribble.
And Anthony able to complete the three-point play. The Knicks 39, Orlando 31. 3.5 gone by in the second quarter. Skiles picked up on the switch by Vandeweghe, so Anthony now guarding Turner. Roberts showing the nice touch. Stanley Roberts with his third field goal.
Spinning move also. He was content staying out a little bit from the hoop.
Pretty pass from Oakley, connecting with Vandeweghe. Knicks 41, the Magic 33. Illegal defense called for the second time, so a technical foul called against the Knicks.
Oh, we get a look from our upper deck cam at Kiki Vandeweghe moving without the ball. Oh, that little half step ahead, and Mason found him, and Oakley rather found him beautifully.
Skiles hitting the technical. The Knicks lead 41-34. Charles Oakley with his hands full against Stanley Roberts. Meanwhile, Mason with the steal. And the Knicks now lead at 43-34.
Mason looked like a racehorse going out of the gate as he anticipated that.
And that pass thrown a bit too strong for Smith. So it's turnover number 13 committed by Orlando.
Orlando had 9 total turnovers in their win against Chicago the other night.
Mason wheeling in, and he drew the foul. Strong move by Anthony Mason. Roberts called for the foul. That's his second.
A special quality of Anthony Mason is his speed. He gets that big body moving quickly. Some people say he's the fastest man on the Knicks in a running situation, and he showed that speed and anticipation very well.
Mason 64% from the foul line.
He was very important to the Knicks last Tuesday in Orlando and helping sustain the edge the Knicks had. Played half a game, 7 points, 6 rebounds, tough as usual.
The Knicks lead it by 10, and a timeout called by the Magic. We'll be back.
And the owner's side. Richter with a good save on that play, as that was Duchesne who had broken in. There's the other point shot, and the Rangers finally able to move it down.
Interesting how J.D. sits here.
Thursday at Denver. That'll be a 9 o'clock start on MSG. Then Saturday they face the Supersonics in Seattle. And Sunday the Trailblazers in Portland. 10 o'clock start Saturday and Sunday night. So the Knicks do not return to the Garden until next Tuesday against the Chicago Bulls. It's the Knicks by 10 with 7:15 remaining first half.
Nice of you to invite the Bulls here for Marv Albert night. Marv Albert.
Here's Williams, and he's hit from behind. Vandeweghe and Mason converging. Anthony Mason called for the foul. John, I wanted to just make certain that the crowd would be on hand from the Bulls.
I know it's difficult for you to talk about yourself, but I do want to make the important announcement that the popular WFAN radio afternoon team of Mike and the Mad Dog will be on the court hosts for Marv Albert night when the Bulls are here also.
Well, I know in talking to Mike Francesa and Chris Russo, they said that they wanted to make certain that Will Perdue was in town when this particular night took place, and so the Garden was, able to make the arrangements.
Sorry, you missed Chris Russo's debut here at the Garden at halftime the other night. He put on quite a nice passing show. Oh, Scott Skiles. He was participating in a halftime charity event. I was very proud of some of his passes.
Knicks lead it 44-37. 6.5 remaining in the first half. Anthony, yes, well, Greg Anthony with 9 points. And the Knicks extend to a 46-37 lead. Patrick Ewing is getting set to make his return. Jeff Turner given the room. Jeff Turner, at one time, a first-round pick of the Nets. That was back in '84, saw limited action over 3 years that the Nets played in Europe for a couple of seasons. This is his third year with Orlando. Starks for 3. Yes. John Starks hits from downtown, and the Knicks now lead by 10.
John Starks has had some very big games against Orlando this year. As a matter of fact, he's the Knicks' second leading scorer at over 17 a game in the 4 prior games.
And the Knicks go to the double up on Roberts. Skiles doubles it. Lost by Smith. Recovered by Williams with 1 on the 24 through the air ball, so it is a 24-second violation. Patrick Ewing, Xavier McDaniel come on for Kiki Vandeweghe and Charles Oakley. Orlando with its 14th turnover. It has killed them here in the first half. Orlando averages 16 per game. They've already hit 14. The X-Man gives the Knicks a 51-39 lead.
Anthony Bowie not on the ball defensively, letting the X-Man get that shot uncontested.
Just under 5 minutes remaining first half, and Roberts lost it. Terry Catlett being waved on, replacing Brian.
And we've got volleyball games and parties and hockey talk session. It'll be great.
Gee, I hope you enjoy that dinghy that you're going to be behind that big ship I saw a picture of.
Long shot, blocked in front. Turcotte tries to clear. 48 seconds to go in the period. Broughton and Turcotte, Hardy and Patterson.
Ewing and Roberts getting involved.
Patrick deciding to go to the hoop, and Stanley Roberts got his shoulder in the way of Patrick Ewing and drew the offensive foul on Ewing, who finds amusement in that call.
Skiles with the pull-up. Rebound Ewing. You know, I heard a good team about the Platters just the other day, CBS FM. Plays them consistently.
That's their thing.
All right, here's McDaniel.
care to hum it to me, Mark? No one's listening.
I beg your pardon?
I mean, just hum it to me.
Say no one's listening?
Well, I mean, if you hum it, only I'll hear it. I don't want you to think of the big audience out there. I don't want you to choke. Such a thought.
And the foul is called on the Knicks. It's on Mason.
Mark Hardy just hit.
Gillen and then Chinoff, Leach, and Bukabuman. Good play by Brindamore, blocking the pass by Leach. The
3. John Stark sitting down. Roberts again facing the double team. Catledge. And Ewing has it deflected away, and it was last touch by Ewing.
Great effort by Catledge. He keeps competing around that basket. Very few people bring the energy he does to play around the hoop on the offensive boards.
And Terry Catledge has turned things around. He ended last season as the last player on the 12-man roster. He was in the doghouse, then came back with a strong preseason. Roberts rebounded by Mason.
Knicks seeming to have a lot of offensive choices to make. They're trying to make the best one.
And McDaniel does, but could not hit the shot. He had the open jumper. The Knicks lead it by 12. Roberts from Skiles. And he caught his own pass. So the Knicks get it back. Mark Jackson replacing Greg Anthony. Good stint for Anthony. Leaves with 9 points. The Knicks with Jackson and Wilkins at the guards. McDaniel up front, along with Ewing and Mason. We come up on 3 minutes remaining in the first half.
Familiar sight to Scott Skiles. When Jackson comes in, he takes him down low and rolls right by Scott Skiles.
Mark Jackson made that look very easy against Skiles as he was able to get position.
Skiles normally a much more physical player when Jackson does that.
Here's Bowie. Anthony Bowie cuts it back to a 12-point Knick lead. The Knicks have 42 and 25. They lead the Atlantic by 4 games over the Celtics. And following tonight, they're headed to the West. It'll be Knick ball. And the Knicks take a timeout with 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. 7 here on San Antonio.
It's a good win for you.
Thanks, Al.
the ball, the runner doesn't score. As it was, Randolph scores as Murray taps the second. The Mets score an unearned run without a hit in the 3rd inning and lead 2-0 after 3. We'll be back after this from your Tri-State Toyota dealer.
Tire inventory.
9 second periods of tonight's game between the New York Rangers and the Philadelphia Flyers.
The biggest lead of the game.
Roberts getting the position, throwing an air ball. With Catledge able to convert on the follow. The Knicks 55 and Orlando 43.
To point out that Terry Catledge is only 6'8", causing some damage against the Knicks' taller front line.
Wilkins backing Bowie. Mason. Stanley Roberts again getting to the rebound. Stanley Roberts played last year in the Spanish League. Played only 1 season as a sophomore at LSU. And Roberts with a power move you do not want to get in his path.
He had one of those last week in Orlando. Scott Skiles is passing the ball beautifully to his teammates since he's been on the floor. He did on that one as well.
Mason, with the step in the bucket, and he threw the foul.
What a great feeling that must be for Mason. Drive down the middle, slam that ball down. He creates the move all by himself. Nobody helped him. And draws the foul on the bigger man.
As Catledge called for his first. Anthony Mason, who has played well here in the first half, looking to complete a 3-point play. 36 seconds to go in the half. McDaniel felt he was pushed, shaken up as he heads back to the defensive end. Skiles with a nice setup. And this counts plus the foul, so Catledge will go to the line. And McDaniel in the face of Catledge. Apparently, Xavier upset that he was shoved in the chest by Catledge.
Well, he carried some animosity from the other end of the court. When you mentioned Marv, he thought he had suffered in a call that didn't happen for him. And now he comes back at the other end and gets in the middle of a skirmish again.
And he's upset that because he was taken out of the play by physical means, he could not get back down court, and Catledge was able to hit. Catledge tried to explain his point of view.
Catledge seemed to be puzzled by Xavier's reaction.
Catledge tried to complete the three-point play. Obviously not unnerved by the verbal assault.
He just came down and clobbered Xavier, and I think it was by accident, but the timing couldn't have been worse. Boy, pouring oil on the flame is what he did.
So McDaniel to the line with the Magic over the limit. The Knicks now lead it by 9. 23 seconds remaining in the first half. McDaniel on the line for 2. Charles Oakley replacing Anthony Mason. Now Otis Smith has come on for Greg Kite. High point man of the game, Patrick Ewing, leading the Knicks with 18. He hit 8 of 9 from the field. Greg Anthony with 9 points. Xavier McDaniel with 7. While Orlando, led by Terry Catledge with 11. Stanley Roberts has 8.
I can hear Pat Riley at halftime. We had a 22-point lead last week, first half, and it went down to 1 in the third and fourth quarter. This team was down 94-74 to Chicago the other night in the fourth quarter, and they won the game. What more do I have to say? Is that about it?
You know, John, you would motivate me with that type of chatter. Very well delivered. And Catledge cuts it to a 9-point Knick lead. Final seconds of the half. Jackson able to get it off. Coming up at halftime, Alan Clyde with a look back at the first half. And Bob Page at the MSG Sports Desk. It's the Knicks 59, the Orlando Magic 50. We'll be back at the Garden in a moment.
Don't be fooled by misleading ads.
Darrell leads the Major League players in home runs over his last 9 years with 280. Dale Murphy second to him at 268.
Eddie Murray playing behind Daniels at first base, and he crept in behind him. Daniels diving back. That's a design play.
First base coach has to protect you on that play. You can't tell if that first baseman is coming in from behind, and that pitch a ball, it's 1-1. Daniels at first, Strawberry at the plate. That's leading 2-0. Strawberry really ripped Daniels this winter. And there's no love lost between these two.
That's true. Daniels said he is not forgetting it either. He said other people might forget it, but he won't. Here's that pickoff attempt one more time. There it is right there. You see Murray going to the bag, and Young throwing to the bag, knowing Murray's going to be there.
And now Young comes back with a fastball and gets a called strike, and it's 2-2. Strawberry accused Daniels of jaking. Daniels retorted, Strawberry was invisible the first half of the season. How can he get on me? Swung on and missed. So Strawberry struck out for the second time. 5th strikeout for Anthony Young, who has been brilliant. The only base runner on the walk, and the score at the end of 3.5 innings. The Mets 2, the Dodgers nothing. And here's a word from...
Very proud to say.
Quick elimination at the hands of Chicago. You know, it kind of makes you wonder, wouldn't this coming young team perhaps be better served by missing the playoffs and getting back into the lottery again?
As much as I like some of the players that are coming out this year, I don't believe a Shaquille O'Neil or any of the first 4 picks that come in the draft could walk in and start the first game of the season without a club, because I don't think that they can overcome of a Sam Bowie or Derek Coleman, Chris Morris, or Drazen Petrovic, or Mookie Blaylock. I just know that. I mean, because I've been out here long, because I think we all think every player can come and get it done right away. Most kids in college are not ready to come and get it done right away.
Yes, you did hear Willis correctly. Shaquille O'Neil could not start for the New Jersey Nets. Shaquille and the rest of the nation will be tuned in this coming Thursday night when Seton Hall takes on Duke in the semifinals of the NCAA East Regional at Philadelphia. We asked PJ what makes the Blue Devils so successful.
They put tremendous pressure on you. They don't allow you to run your defense, you run your offensive sets. They overplay. They get you out of that, and that creates a lot of offense for them. And I think the thing they do better than anybody in the country is run the floor. They get the ball in Bobby Hurley's hands, and all 4 of the other guys are very versatile, and they run the floor. So you have to play transition defense very well, and you have to attack their defense, and neither of those things are easy to do because they're very good at it.
The county prosecutor in Indianapolis says the state will request a 6 to 10-year jail term for Mike Tyson at his sentencing hearing this Thursday. Tyson will also be asked to pay the maximum $30,000 fine for his rape conviction and court costs of up to $150,000. Now these messages. Tonight. That game's being seen live over our MSG2 service. The 2 teams tied 1-1. Second period underway. That first period action, after Mark Recchi had scored, Doug Wade of the Rangers coming in, tried a centering pass. You'll see a fluke goal off Terry Carter, the Philly defenseman, and off Hextall, the Flyers netminder, into the goal. At the Meadowlands Arena, Bruce Driver has just scored for the badly slumping Devils. They are tied with San Jose 3-3. Second period underway there. As for the Islanders, they're in Quebec tonight. Their playoff hopes in deep trouble. 0-0 in the second period. Mets lead the Dodgers 2-0 in the fourth, and the Yankees blanked Atlanta today. Back to the Knicks in a moment.
Inside the arena, the New York Knicks leading the Orlando Magic at the half by the score of 59-50. The leading scorer summary brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. Advantage Jeep and Eagle. Patrick Ewing breezing his way through the first half. 18 points, 8 of 9 shooting, 5 rebounds. After that, Greg Anthony, good stint off the bench, 3 of 5 from the floor. Xavier McDaniel almost hooked up with Terry Catledge, put 8 points on the board, 3 of 9 shooting. As for the Magic, Terry Catledge, 13 points, 6 of 8 from the floor. Stanley Roberts, 8 points. By the way, Brian Williams' father, Gene, was an original member of the Platters. Did you know that? 5 points for him in the first half of play. Back with Walt Frazier, Clyde. The Knicks, I thought, executed so much in the first half of what they wanted to do. Really played some crisp basketball. This could have easily been a blowout if their shots fell a little bit more frequently.
Well, that's true. Patrick Ewing, as we thought, having his way on the low post. Greg Anthony, the neophyte, doing a nice job of shooting from the perimeter, but the Magic have remained steadfast.
Time for the highlights then. They're brought to you by Minolta, creators of the world's most responsive SLR cameras, the new Maxim XI series. Nobody in the middle for Orlando could stop Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, similar scenario last week when Ewing used and abused Roberts, but Roberts has learned something that time, at least not fouling Patrick as he attempted the shot.
Mentioned Greg Anthony's performance off the bench. Here's with the new upper deck cam how Patrick Ewing sees the floor.
Nice dupe by Anthony as he goes inside, driving and thriving. So the neophyte taking advantage.
The new slimmed-down version of Stanley Roberts shooting 4 of 7 for his 8 points.
Yeah, the Knicks, a rare opportunity here by the Magic to exploit the Knicks inside. So you see Catman looking inside. He'll find Roberts for this stuff shot. And that's why he's averaging over 52%.
Hey, Clyde, what about Terry Catlett? What a first half he has had, showing true veteran poise, experience, and a lot of creativity.
Yeah, one of my favorite players because of his hustle and muscle. The Catman, 6'8", 230 pounds. Watch him go inside. A lot like Charles Oakley, bounds and astounds. So that time giving the Magic the second opportunity.
Well, Clyde, John Andre said right at the end of the first half that if he was Pat Riley, he'd say 2 things. 1, remember we were up by 22 and almost gave the game away to Orlando last time we were down there. And 2, the Chicago Bulls led these guys by 20 points in the fourth quarter. They came back and won that game. Anything else you'd add?
Yeah, they need more continuity of the offense, to be more benevolent with the ball. I thought a lot of guys started looking to try to score rather than help someone else score.
All right, that's Walt Frazier. That's our halftime. Back with us, time permitting, of course, in our post-game report. But when we come back, Marvin John will retake over the mic.
I heard that there was an interesting story to Brian Williams' dad. Any idea what that was all about?
I'll get into that a little bit later on. It's very complicated for John to comprehend at this particular point. As we check out the field goal percentages, Orlando on fired, although they're trailing by 9, shooting 67%. The Knicks at 56%, not bad. However, Orlando has turned it over 18 times in the first half.
Oh, and how it has cost them, Marv. 25 Knicks points out of those 18 turnovers. And it was sloppiness. It wasn't just the Knicks' tough defense. Knicks scoring well and piling up the assists as they've handled the ball quite well. Jackson leading the way with 8. Our Dutch boy in the paint numbers. Pretty tight, though, due to Terry Catlett causing the Knicks problems. The Knicks only up by 2 down close around the basket. Catlett, 6 out of 8 himself. They've got to do a better job against Terry Catlett and keep him away. They've got to be physical with him.
So we're set for the second half as our upper deck trading card cam goes to work. I'm not quite sure what it's doing, John.
Well, it's showing some fans who never really are in the crowd as much, Marv. And those people will be waving soon when they realize what upper deck has done.
Nicely done. Our director, Bob Lewis, and our producer, the electronic wizard, Howie Singer, with a firm grasp on the upper deck trading card cam. Third quarter is underway. Oakley with the rebound. Saw the high number of turnovers. Jackson lost it, so the Knicks turn it over. Vincent able to take advantage, and the Knicks now lead at 59-52. Orlando with 17 turnovers. The record for a half, Art Jackson giving the Knicks a 9-point lead. The record for a half is 18. That's the club record by Orlando. Turned it over 18 times at a half against the Nets back in December of '91. And Roberts able to convert. The Knicks now lead at 61-54. Stanley Roberts has played well. He has 10 points.
Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley each have 1 personal foul now. It's time for them to step up the physical play and get their bodies in the way of some of these Orlando players down close.
Ewing, yes. Patrick Ewing is 9 for 10 from the field. He has 20 points. The Knicks lead 63-54. Vincent and Bowie in the backcourt. Catlett with Higgins and Roberts up front. And the foul is called on Roberts. Loose ball foul. Roberts over the back of Ewing, so that is number 3 on Roberts.
Roberts all alone on his offensive boards. All of his teammates were at the foul line or beyond.
Oh, the Knicks got away with one. Mark Jackson dropped the ball and then able to inbound the Orlando bench screaming. Should have been a turnover. The official not looking that way on the inbounds. Mark Newitt also had that little shy look. McDaniel shot way off.
one slip-up by the Knicks now, and the Orlando Magic are going to come right back into this thing, as they have done in the last 3 games, and the third one was against the Knicks in Orlando.
Shot clock at 3. Higgins.
Oh, ridiculous shot.
Just did hit.
He had to get it up because the clock was going away.
And the Knicks now lead it by 7. Able to hit the shot with nothing on the 24. McDaniel with 10. And the Knicks now lead 65-56. Roberts stripped by Ewing.
The light flash before your eyes, Marv?
Yes, both Ewing and Roberts headed in this direction. I was bailing out, John.
What would have filled in for on Marv Albert that, I wonder?
Now, let's check this out. Not the 2 guys you want coming in your direction. And the outside official is Hugh Hollins with the call against Orlando, a pushing foul on Higgins, his first.
Actually, NBC had that animated show, I know, this past year on Saturday mornings when they had a little Marv Albert type doll. That would have been nice if they inflated that and stood here at half court on
John, are you searching here? And rambling on with no purpose. Wilkins. McDaniel off the recovery. Ewing, yes. Patrick Ewing is 10 for 11 for 22 points.
And they're not all slam dunks. They're mostly jump shots from good range.
The Knicks lead 67-56. Wilkins off the steal and then lost it to Higgins. Catlidge is fouled by Ewing. For Ewing, his second.
Get a good look at the movement inside. The Knicks getting that ball and giving it right up. And the head fake by Catlidge got Ewing to commit the foul, and certainly he denied Catlidge a shot at the basket.
Akers has come on for the first time. Stanley Roberts, who has picked up his third, sitting down. Terry Catlidge, a 68% free throw shooter. He's averaging 15 points per game.
You like to see the knees involved in the foul shot, Marv.
Oh, a little clinical comment.
Going that up just with the arms doing the work. Now he's bending the knees. Let's see if that makes a difference. He's focusing on the knees. You know it's going to go in now. You're going to hate me for it. But he didn't use the knees in the actual shot, man.
Well, once again, having conversations with himself during the course of his commentary. Knicks by 10. 8 minutes to go in the third. Here's McDaniel. Silky touched by Xavier McDaniel. He has 12 points. Knicks with a 69-57 lead. Akers, Catlidge, and Higgins now on the front line. Wilkins wide open. Yes. Darryl Wilkins with 8, and the Knicks have a 14-point lead. Mark Jackson with 11 assists. And Matt Lucas takes a timeout.
Production, but never as far as batting average.
Old teammate of mine, Hank Sauer, hit 288 at the age of 37.
Surprising there was Tris Speaker. Overthrown at first base. Randolph sliding. Daniels jumping. McKnight running. An error on shortstop, Jose Offerman. And you talked about it earlier, Ralph, about whether Offerman can play a consistent defensive shortstop for the Dodgers. A big, big question mark.
Now, they are really going to have to sweat this one out. McKnight was going to stay at second, but then the throw way over the head of the first baseman, Daniels. And a blatant error. Second one by the Dodgers in this game.
So the Mets with
or light.
Tom Candiotti. What is this all about, as Don Imus would say?
Well, Bonita was in a slump last year and batted left-handed again. Yeah. That's right. He batted left-handed against the left-hand pitcher.
Right.
And of course, that's the opposite side for a switch hitter. And he hit a home run.
Hit it in St. Louis, of all places, too. Fastball is low, ball 2. So Bobby Bonilla batting right-handed against Tom Candiotti. Low, ball 3. Maybe that's his base on ball side.
Well, I've seen ball players do odd things, especially when you're in the slump. You'll do anything, and sometimes it works. I guess it doesn't make any difference how you hit a knuckleball pitcher. I never tried hitting left-handed. I should have done that.
Well, Bonilla goes up.
Going cold here in the third quarter. Jackson going behind the back on Vincent.
Remember the headlines in the Philadelphia papers that day, how the ASPCA was going to come and put a clamp on that halftime show that Pat Williams designed.
Oakley not able to get the timing down. Nice pass from Bowie, and Williams was stopped and last touched by Brian Williams. I recall the ASPCA threatened to close the spectrum, but the show did go on. Pat has matured since then. Williams with the steal.
He made sure on the slam this time. Nice play by Brian Williams. That guy is 6'11". He stole that ball and handled it well.
The Knicks lead at 73-59 halfway through the third quarter. Marv Albert, John Andres, Al Troutwig, Walt Frazier from the Garden. Rare miss for Ewing. Wilkins able to hustle it down. The Knicks going with their starting lineup, facing the double team, able to swing it around. Wilkins, and he was blocked by Williams. Well, Pat Williams had some more material, John. No man is an island, but Stanley comes close. That's higher. Stanley recently picked out his burial site. Oh, man. There it is.
At least Pat pays well. And Stanley is the beneficiary of the other side of Pat Williams.
You talked with Stanley Roberts last week in Orlando. Seemed to handle it
well, tremendously. Good sense of humor. Talked about his weight and the various barbs out of Pat Williams that we just saw. And he has a terrific sense of humor, and he's improved also. And he's showing how important he can be the harder he works.
And last week, while we were in Orlando for the Knicks Magic game, both Pat Williams and Matt Dukas had their contracts extended. 16-point Knick lead. McDaniel got a piece of it. Williams to recover. Brian Williams very quick to the hoop. He has 9 points. Knicks lead 75-61. Wilkins on a quick release. Rebound Ewing. Look out. That's been tied up by his own man, Oakley, but a foul called on Orlando. Mark Akers picks it up.
Patrick was really up high for that rebound.
Mark Akers, the third center used today by the Magic.
On that miss, Ewing soaring in, and he was going laterally for that rebound. That's tough. Not everybody can do that.
Wilkins from downtown, and another assist for Mark Jackson. Mark with 12 assists. Bowie, and the Knicks now lead 78-63.
Tough shot, quick release going left, too. Tough shot for a right-handed player when he's going left.
It counts in the foul. Give an assist to Patrick Ewing.
I mean, Ewing loves it. Typically, when you throw the pass that leads to the basket, you seem to enjoy that much more than the man scoring the hoop does. Nice quick pass. Oakley scooping it up beautifully. With a look at Ewing passing that ball to Oakley, you can see the fine position Oakley had in front of his man. Oakley spent so much time looking down, dribbling the ball, and then he shot the ball as he began to look at the rim for the first time. I'm sure the coaching staff reminds him of concentrating more on the rim that he's shooting at than the floor.
And Anthony Mason replaces Charles Oakley, leaves with 2 field goals, 4 points, 5 rebounds. Turnover number 21 committed by Orlando, giving the ball back to New York. McDaniel, Catledge with the rebound. Knicks lead it 80-63. Vincent puts the speed on and then turns it right back out. Here's Catledge. We come up on 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The Knicks lead it by 15.
Catledge just breezed by Patrick Ewing.
Wide open shot for Jackson. Vincent able to go all the way, and the Knicks now lead 80-67.
Knicks looking quite vulnerable now defensively. Jackson the victim of Vincent's fast movement there.
Akers stepping out on a double team. Wilkins beating 3 Orlando Magic players.
Well, he can circle the foul line and still keep that forward momentum. He seems to gather speed as he's going away from the basket initially, and then he turns it on.
15 for Gerald Wilkins. The Knicks lead by 15. Another turnover by the Magic. Here's Jackson giving it up. I think Mark would prefer the assist. That's number 13. The Knicks lead by 17.
That's great leadership when he does that.
So a timeout called by Orlando.
Mark Freer. And pushing and shoving. Peterson and Sorella involved.
Markout sets that up with a wrist shot. A wrist shot from the point, and Freer found the loose puck, and Richter tried to sit up while he was down, batted the puck out of the air, and keeps the Rangers tied.
5:07 to go in the second.
Imagine being born with the others.
We know baseball.
I will look at highlights. And the highlights mostly belong to Philadelphia, though the Ranger highlight film has been Mike Richter. Save after save, 22 of them. Kurt and Nemchinov to Gillen. He's in, he scores!
Oh.
How about that?
Oh. James Patrick avoided a check way back at the Rangers blue line to move the puck up ice, and Conroy took a run at him. And I mean a run at him. Then the Rangers were able to move the puck up, and with a good pass, got themselves a 3-on-2. Now it's a 2-on-1, and there's Gillen. Great move around Ron Hextall, who committed early. There's Patrick taking the hit to make the pass. Now it's a 2-on-1 ISO on the defenseman. Now it's another 2-on-1 ISO on the other defenseman, with a quick pass by Nemchinov over to Gillen. Rangers take the lead, and Mike Richter has kept them in the position to be able to do that.
3 pretty passes. Patrick, Kerr, and Nemchinov, and a great finish by Randy Gillen, the man we spoke about earlier, coming through, giving the Rangers the lead for the first time. It's 2-1 with 4:35 to go in the second period. Only the third shot on goal of the period for the Rangers. King tripped up Recchi, but nothing is called. Sperry did not see it. Rangers have Turcotte, King, and Broughton on the ice. The goal is Gillen, his 10th. From Nemchinov and Kerr at 15-15. Turcotte getting to the puck. Hextall got a stick on it. Broughton puts it through the crease, but Quinn takes it.
Washington and then on to Orlando. The Knicks lead is 15. And Orlando back on that turnover. Corciani being guarded by Jackson. Bowie not able to hit. Last week in Orlando, Bowie firing him up from all angles. A little bit more conservative here tonight. Oh, nice pass, and Mason puts it home, plus the foul.
When Jackson had two people on him, he sensed somebody was open, and he went right to it. Picked up another assist. Jackson knows he's being hounded. You could see his head was looking in the other direction when he found Mason. He is really on target tonight.
Mark with 15 assists. So the Knicks getting a strong effort from their point guard combination of Mark Jackson and Greg Anthony. Knicks now lead 87-69. Jackson's high assist game for the season, a total of 19. Corciani off the fake, able to find Catledge.
Anthony Mason, while grabbing that defensive rebound, looked like he got Brian Williams' finger in the eye. Mason getting that ball, and he takes a shot from Williams.
Timeout is called by the Magic.
Benning saves one. The Rangers would have a 2-goal lead, but Benning back-checked, and Wade, I thought, had an open net.
Koser with a nice move. Brindamore with a puck. Brindamore tied up by Patrick. Tries to ward him off. He does. Then he's taken down. Patrick will go. That's a penalty call. Holding on James Patrick. And the Flyers work hard along the boards and draw the penalty. Their 7th power play of the game is coming up. 1:53 remaining here in the second period.
You see Koser take the wrist shot, and the rebound gets away. Benning turns around and just gets to the stick of Waite, as Waite was about to put the puck over the open goal, over the line on the open side. Look at Waite. He thought he had himself the second of the game, but Benning with a good...
Smith is fouled by Starks. John Starks checking in a moment ago.
Mentioned John Starks has been the second leading scorer this year in the 4 prior games against Orlando. Only played 11 minutes in the first half. Starks has been quiet. The Knicks have not relied on him that much tonight. There are games like that when you are quiet, when you come off the bench.
In the first half, Starks did hit from downtown. Patrick Ewing will get a rest. Charles Oakley is back. Ewing with 24 points on 11 for 13 from the floor. The Knicks lead it by 17. They have led all the way. Most they've led by 18. Knicks now have an 87-71 advantage. Crowd of 17,353 here at Madison Square Garden. Jackson being pressed by Corciani. This Corciani, a second-round draft pick. He was cut right after training camp and then re-signed with the team. Mason. And again, Anthony Mason to the foul line.
Well, the Knicks come in tonight having won 8 of their last 11. A week ago, we focused before the game in Orlando on the Knicks' upcoming schedule and how important it was, as Pat Riley pointed out to his team many times, for them to beat the teams they should. And that's precisely what has happened since that Orlando game. And the direction of this game certainly continuing very favorably in the direction that Pat Riley wants his team to go. So they are rising to the occasion and looking good against the teams they should dominate thus far.
And those teams, Orlando, then Milwaukee, and Miami. And the Knicks trying to make it 4 straight wins with a victory tonight. They lead it now by 18 with 1 minute to go in this third quarter. Smith off the spin. Otis Smith with a nice move. Knicks 89. The Magic 73. Pressure from Corciani once again.
It shows you how tough Otis Smith is. Here's a guy who's playing this game with having had 4 knee operations, and he looks like he's about 70% the way he's moving out there, and he's still tough.
Shot clock at 4 starts. And Oakley and Catledge with some pushing and shoving. Oakley shedding Brian Williams, who try to keep Charles away. In the first half, Xavier McDaniel was upset with Terry Catledge. Loose ball foul on Catledge.
Catledge coming out now to Oakley to address the problem. Puts his hand out.
And Oakley does not want to shake it.
I think the frustrating part of Catledge, Marv, is he plays so hard physically. He keeps digging. He's an annoying player because he's always in your face. And I don't know if that's precisely the problem here, but I could see it would be annoying. And he's certainly showing the right kind of spirit out there, which was rejected.
Personal foul called on Catledge and then double technical on Catledge and Oakley. So Catledge with his 5th foul. Oakley is 0 for 2. The line is Stanley Roberts replacing Mark Akers. And Anthony Bowie has come on for Terry Catledge, who leads with 18 points. .33 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The Knicks 90, Orlando 73. Here's Bowie. Rebound snatched by Mason. And the Knicks will hold for a final shot. Down to 10 seconds. Yes. And another assist from Mark Jackson. The Knicks lead by 20. So Jackson with 16 assists. He is 3 away from his season and career high of 19 accomplished against the Rockets back in February.
Is Tim Kerr. I'm doing a solo because Scoop Davidson has gone to the phone to call Toronto to find out what he can on the strike talks that went on today in Toronto. Tim Kerr is with us. Tim, as you look at the Philadelphia Flyers, the team you were with last season, what do you see?
Well, they've definitely changed a lot of personnel, and I think there's like 15 or 16 new guys out there. And, you know, they're a much quicker team, and they compete very well. And, you know, they work real hard out there. And
Strawberry has fanned it twice. Butler at third. Harris at first. 2 outs. Fly ball, center field. Johnson over. And he makes the play. The Dodgers are on the board, their first run of the ball game, but it's Mets 3, Dodgers 1 after 5.5. And we're back after this from Nissan.
Back here in the Meadowlands, Gary Thorne, Peter McNabb, Devils up 4-3 at the end of the first period. If you join us late, Devils are without their two primary goaltenders, and Peter, we ought to bring...
What does he have on the back there? What would you... there it is. All right, puts it right back on. They really got it, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, he took it well. Whatever it was.
Fourth quarter underway. Starks, who closed the third with a 3, opens the fourth by hitting from downtown.
Well, I mentioned earlier that Starks has been quiet. That doesn't mean he's left the scene, and he's putting his imprint in this game right now. Brian Williams on that nice turnaround jump shot.
The Knicks with a hot shooting third quarter. James Donaldson has come on for the first time, has not been getting the playing time. He did play 13 minutes the other night against Miami. At his longest stint as a Knick, he had gone 5 straight games without seeing any action. Donaldson is up front with Oakley and Mason. Brian Williams able to elude Charles Oak, and Williams and Donaldson are having words. Brian Williams getting right in the face of James Donaldson.
Looked to me like Donaldson initiated the push away of Williams after that play. Williams came back. Williams going in now. And Donaldson actually held his ground as we look at that play. Williams came charging into him, and then Donaldson dismisses the rookie.
Minute gone by in the fourth quarter. Now Roberts matched with Donaldson. Nice spin. Yes, and it counts. Stanley Roberts with a beautiful move on James Donaldson.
Well, James can't feel proud about that because Roberts, the big burly center at 7 feet, isn't exactly Mr. Speed, and he sails right around James for that slam dunk. He's deceptively quick, though, as he showed Patrick Ewing in Orlando last week with a move.
13 for Roberts. The Knicks 96, the Magic 78. Greg Anthony and John Starks in the backcourt. James Donaldson, Anthony Mason, and now Kiki Vandeweghe up front. Anthony, yes. Cortiani tried to draw the charge. It did not work. Anthony has 11. He's hit 4 of 6. Smith with the backdoor pass that is knocked out of bounds by the Knicks, and Bowie will throw in. Now a change. Cortiani will inbound. Smith. Vandeweghe got picked off by Brian Williams. Cortiani with the steal. What a play by Chris Cortiani. Here's Smith. It counts in the foul, and Chris Cortiani landed along press row in the lap of a couple of reporters.
On that inbound, Cortiani on the ball. Meanwhile, he disappears from the scene while he was gone for a couple of seconds before he reappeared. And this, of course, suggests to Pat Riley that this Orlando team doesn't go away. Once again, to remind everybody, late tuners in, it was 94-74 in favor of the Bulls in the last game for the Magic, and they went out and won that game in Chicago. At the end of 3, the Knicks had 93. And the Orlando team was 20 points behind the Knicks at the end of 3. Very suggestive numbers of recent history.
Starks rebounded by Roberts. Saturday night, Orlando outscored Chicago 41-22 in the fourth quarter. Donaldson called for the foul. And Cortiani will go to the line. And Pat Riley may be making some substitutions in a moment.
Donaldson getting quality time now at the beginning of the fourth. He has not been playing much for the Knicks. Cortiani, oh boy, does he deceive Greg Anthony to the point where Greg loses his balance, and then Cortiani draws the foul.
So the 22nd timeout taken by the Knicks. This program is authorized by Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event without the express written consent of Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated is prohibited.
Mentioning Donaldson not getting much time. Since he has been a member of the Knicks, he's played a total of 57 minutes coming in tonight.
Chris Corchiani to the line. He is an 83% free throw shooter. The Knicks lead is now 13. They led by as many as 23. Starks saw the opening and was hammered by Roberts. That's 4 on Roberts. Orlando with a 13-2 spurt to get right back into it. It's an Orlando club without 3 of its key players. Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott, Jerry Ice Reynolds, all injured. They've been hard hit by injury right throughout the season, and they show a record of 17 and 51. That is 7th in the Atlantic Division, 25.5 games back. Knicks 100 and the Magic 85.
Knicks getting a nice lift now from John Starks, coming on strong in the second half. He only had 3 in 11 minutes of the first half.
Smith for 3. Ryan Williams able to keep it alive. Bowie for 3. And Donaldson with the rebound. Mason drawing the double team. Smith all over Vandeweghe. Donaldson. And the Knicks maintain possession with 6 on the 24.
Coaching staff looking closely at Donaldson. You know, Pat Riley putting him early in this game. Naturally, he's thinking down the road. Wants to see how reliable James can be with minutes. He really hasn't shown much thus far in his limited time.
Ryan Williams feeling the contact and called for a travel. Ryan Williams, a rookie from Arizona, Orlando's #1 draft pick. He was the 10th pick overall. He and Stanley Roberts were both selected on the first round, and both have been getting the playing time in recent weeks. 8.5 to go in the 4th quarter. The Knicks lead it by 15. Donaldson over Roberts. Vandeweghe. Yes. The Knicks 102. The Magic 85.
Mason giving a warning to Otis Smith as they came up court. Mason tapped that ball to Vandeweghe. He's still glaring at Otis, who doesn't seem to be on the same wavelength, not even looking at Anthony.
Very physical game throughout.
Series. Here's the Rangers' goal.
Rangers needed some offense. James Patrick moves the puck while taking a big hit. The Rangers then ISO a defenseman, 2-on-1, Curtin Nemchinov. ISO the other defenseman, Nemchinov to Gillen. He was ISO'd on the goaltender and beat Hextall. The Rangers took the lead, 2-1.
And let's take a look at Mike Richter protecting this lead.
He had a brilliant period. Flyers only had 8 shots, but every one of them were good shots. He'll get his torso up, knock the puck out of the air. That was a shot by Freer. One of many that Mike Richter made in that second period that were good saves.
And we'll be back with the 3rd period in Philadelphia in just a moment.
Comparative values to $350. Entire inventory, 9,000 suits, $89 to $119.
Oh, his back record ever 83 points.
He set to work his second inning, gave up 1 run on 3 hits in the 6th. His first inning of work.
Your company's gas and oil.
Wall 99.
Pardon?
You have some NIT experience.
Fond memories, Marv. 2 years when I was at Fordham, we played in the NIT. Against Dayton, our #1 year. After an upset of St. Francis of Loretto, we lost to Dayton. led by Arlen Bachorn.
Was that the Maurice Stokes St. Francis club?
Yes, it was, right. Several years after Maurice, the great Maurice Stokes played.
Oh, it was after Stokes?
Yes.
I realized that was attended St. Francis of Loretto, John. Thank you very much. Porciani with another good hustle play. The Knicks lead 102-87 with 8 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. 30 assists for the Knicks, led by Mark Jackson, who has 16. Vandeweghe for 3. Mason able to keep it alive.
Try again, Kiki.
Porciani accelerates. Oh, beautiful move, but he could not get it down. And Anthony's delivery misfired, so Orlando gets it back. Did you handle the Gardenitis all right, John? I know you were one of the solid members of that Ram team.
Actually, I did, because we had the privilege of practicing at the Garden, and so you had a feel for the place. And the soft rims of the old Garden as well.
Ryan Williams through the foul. John Starks picking up his second. 7:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the Knicks lead it 102-87. Patrick Ewing will check back in, along with Gerald Wilkins. Ryan Williams 3 out of 4 from the foul line. And here's Ewing for Donaldson. Patrick Ewing has had an excellent game, 11 for 13 from the field. Following tonight, the Knicks head to the West Thursday at Denver. That'll be a 9 o'clock start right here on the MSG Network. And then Saturday in Seattle, Sunday at Portland.
They're trying to spread the floor out now because the Orlando team is playing some heavy pressure out there. So by opening the floor, they'll get more targets at cutters.
Roberts called for his 5th. At one point, the Knicks led by 23. They now lead by 13. Greg Anthony, 3 for 3 from the line.
Well, with the slowdown because of the foul, this game has really taken on a challenge for the fans to stay interested here. Fans are very quiet now. There aren't many fast breaks going on from either team.
The Knicks lead at 103-89. Roberts and the Knicks lead 103-91. Yes, to get the crowd into it, you either need a club that goes with pressure defense or fires from downtown on a regular basis. Anthony going all the way. Or, as you say, a fast-breaking club. And, you know, fourth quarters have been on the quiet side here.
Stanley Roberts quiet, wants to stay on the floor, so he elected not to challenge Greg Anthony.
Porciani. And he'll go to the line. 6:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Knicks by 14. Ewing called for the foul. That's 4 on Ewing.
Porciani seems to have the personality of a point guard. He's a tough guy, as he evidenced last week when he took a shot. I believe it was from Anthony Mason. We thought he had broken his nose, perhaps. It wasn't quite that damaging, but he seems to have a personality that does not shirk from physical play.
Chris Porciani, the first player in college basketball history to surpass 1,000 assists. He is the NCAA's all-time individual assist leader.
That's an amazing thing to have on your resume, considering all the great players in college basketball history.
Ewing and Stanley Roberts is gone. That is number 6. So Patrick Ewing again has fouled out Roberts. He leads with 17 points, 6 rebounds. And Matt Lucas walking down the bench, looking in the direction of Mark Akers. Timeout is called. 6:03 to go in the fourth.
Play by Hextall. Good play. Leach gets to the puck. Tied up by Keith Acton. Acton grabs hold of Leach. Claude Boyven takes the puck. Sends it across for Al Conroy. Conroy moves in. Bookeboom is there. Pass to Boyven.
In good times with friends, use good sense and drink responsibly because friends know when to say when. A reminder from Budweiser.
6:03 remaining in the fourth, and the Knicks lead the Magic 105-93. A game that saw the Knicks lead by as many as 23 points. Patrick Ewing to the foul line. A moment ago, Stanley Roberts called for his 6th, so he is gone. Mark Akers back in. Ewing has 25. Ewing up front along with Mason, and the Knicks going with the 3-guard alignment. Wilkins, Starks, and Anthony.
Knicks can feel good, as they must have felt throughout this game with the nice lead. But what they failed to realize is that the Magic have been playing exactly this way their last 3 games when they've been very successful. They seem to save the best for last. So Pat Riley putting Ewing back in recognizes this team isn't going away.
Otis Smith cuts it to an 11-point Knick lead, and Orlando going with pressure. It is a 5-second violation. Hugh Hollins blowing the whistle. And it will be Orlando ball. Knicks could not get it in bounds. Smith played tightly by Wilkins. Here's Williams. And Brian Williams gets the roll. He's played well, 15 points. And that Knick lead has evaporated. It's down to 9. Riley wants Mark Jackson, who'll come on in just a moment. Here's Wilkins for the open shot. Rebound Ewing. Took a bump from Akers. It counts as a foul. Mark Akers called for the foul, and Patrick Ewing will go to the line.
Ewing using his strength inside now. Akers a big, strong guy, but he doesn't deny Ewing. The Knicks need Patrick to rebound and score now, just as he did in the earlier part of the game. This Orlando team isn't the worst team in the league. Minnesota has only won 11 games. Dallas and Orlando have each won 17. But they are not going away. And Marv, when you look at the personnel on the floor for the Orlando Magic, I mean, again, this is maybe a pretty good CBA team in many ways.
Yes, you look at this club. Mason was fouled off the steal. Look at what is on the floor for Orlando and for the Knicks, and you say, who shows up these sides? But Orlando has outscored the Knicks 24-15 in the fourth quarter. Pat Riley reinserting Mark Jackson, who's had a good one. However, he is staying with the 3-guard alignment. Jackson, Wilkins, and Starks. Mason is now 4 for 9 from the line, and the Knicks have suffered at the foul line once again. 16 for 27 overall. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the fourth. Well, the free throw shooting hurting the Knicks now in the fourth quarter. Ewing missed a couple. Mason overall 4 for 10 from the line. Corciani eluding Jackson. Try to set up Williams, and the foul starts with the steal, and he was held by Williams.
Boy, the prime offender for Orlando against the Knicks, Perry Catlett, sitting quite a while. Interesting, the Magic still creating problems for the Knicks, but you would think Matt Lucas Might be putting Catlett back in shortly. Scott Skiles, however, ready to come back in.
And the Knicks' difficulties at the line continue. Here's Scott Skiles making his return. John Starks has fallen off recently at the foul line. Holding call.
Tremendous effort by Mason. It's so difficult when your team is shooting fouls in the NBA to get an offensive rebound because your man has the inside position. And Mason was able to wrestle that ball in his direction despite the fact that his man had the inside position.
Foul on Skiles. Both clubs over the limit.
Mason now 5 for 11 from the line tonight.
The Knicks 109, the Magic 97. So Anthony Mason hits a pair. Knicks by 13. Skiles and Bowie in the backcourt. Now Skiles for three.
Right off the bench, he hits that.
It cuts it to a 10-point Knick lead. Skiles shooting 36% from three-point land. And Skiles all over Jackson. Ewing with the foul. Mark Akers called for his third. It has been a parade to the foul line here in the fourth quarter. Mark Akers, the third center to face Patrick Ewing. Stanley Roberts is fouled out. Rick Kite saw action in the first half. And then Matt Lucas went to Mark Akers, and when Roberts fouled out, he went back to Akers, five-year man out of Oral Roberts. And Patrick Ewing is now 3 for 7 at the line.
This is disgraceful foul shooting by the Knicks as a team tonight.
Well, what has to be the concern as the Knicks look to the playoffs, they will kill themselves with this kind of foul shooting. Knicks by 11. 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Here is Bowie for Akers. Rejected by Ewing. Williams. And kept alive by Bowie.
None of the Knicks are looking to put their bodies in front of people under the boards of the Magic.
Skiles, it counts, and the foul. And Scott Skiles has come alive.
You cannot rebound without getting your body, rebound successfully without getting your body in front of people. Now, Scott Skiles just penetrates right around Mark Jackson, something he's done successfully in the past, and the Magic are making this thing interesting.
It is an 8-point Knicks lead. They led by as many as 23 and much time remaining. 3.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Ewing. Rebound Williams. So a similar pattern to what took place in Orlando last Tuesday when the Knicks led by as many as 22. The Magic able to get back into it and provided a scare. Williams from Skiles. A facial served up by Brian Williams on Patrick Ewing. It is only a 6-point Knicks lead, and a timeout is called by the Knicks.
How about Skiles setting that up? He told everybody where to go, and he made it happen.
Nobody beats the Wiz is so sure that our prices are the best
way, but the Magic putting it on as they have for the last few games. Scott Skiles setting up this play for Williams, comes in with a slam dunk, emphatic dunk. Now we'll listen to something interesting.
God, that was interesting.
Gives one an idea of the ferocity of a slam dunk, Marv. Just hope in your life you never find yourself as Patrick Ewing just did at the end of a Brian Williams slam dunk. or you'll be crying out.
Yes, the sound of a facial. And the Knicks now lead it by 6. Brian Williams has been instrumental in this comeback, as he was against the Bulls on Saturday night. 2:54 remaining in the fourth quarter, and the Knicks lead once 23 is only 6, and the Knicks are having trouble getting it in, so they have to take another timeout.
Skiles just would not allow Mark Jackson to get that ball.
We'll be back right after this message.
Take a shot at New York Lottery scratch-off game, and if you didn't score instantly, you can now win for your child. One of 25 spots to attend a Patrick Ewing shoot-around clinic on April 9th at St. John's University Alumni Hall. Also the first 2,500 Alumni Hall. Also the first 2,500.
Scored 32-18 by the Magic here in the fourth quarter. They lead by only 6. Akers doing a good job fronting Ewing. Shot clock at 5. Jackson able to hit with the teardrop, and the Knicks now lead 113-105.
Mark Jackson, who has been so instrumental of late as the Magic throw the ball away. Skiles misreading Bowie on that, threw it away. Key turnover, but Jackson's been so key with offensive scoring, of late in closing minutes of games.
25 turnovers committed by Orlando. Starks tried to save it after the deflection by Bowie, but he was out of bounds. And it will be Orlando ball. And a foul call on Starks. Loose ball foul. Both clubs are over the limit. So Orlando to the foul line.
Can't figure out the mind of Matt Lucas why Terry Catledge is not in this game. Catledge was the spot in the Knicks throughout the game, but he got into that skirmish before, and ever since then has been sitting.
Well, I would think his feeling is his unit has played well, and he does not want to make a change. Anthony Bowie, in his second NBA season out of Oklahoma, signed from the CBA, well, with all the injuries suffered by Orlando. 6-point Knick lead. Starks for Ewing, and he's fouled. Patrick Ewing will go to the line. Mark Akers committing his fourth.
When the Knicks advance the ball as well as they did, they get positive results.
However, Ewing is only 4 out of 8 from the line. He's a 73% free throw shooter. His poor free throw shooting, in particular in the fourth quarter of games, rolls on.
He has no rhythm, or he didn't on that shot.
Ewing hits 1 out of 2, and the Knicks lead it by 7 as we come up on 2 minutes to go in the fourth. Skiles trying to squeeze through, and a loose ball foul called on Starks. That's 4 on Starks. Skiles to the line. Skiles 2 out of 2 from the line. There's Chris Porciani coming on. Skiles a superb foul shooter, 90% for the season. The Knicks 114, the Magic 109. Light pressure being shown by Orlando. Mason tries to dribble through it and gave it back to Jackson. 1:45 left in the fourth. Wilkins, yes. Harold Wilkins with a clutch bucket. Knicks now with a 7-point lead.
An on night for Gerald Wilkins with the jumper.
19 points for Wilkins. Porciani and Skiles now working the backcourt. Jackson with the rebound and last touch by Mark.
Mark giving a lecture to the official who takes it rather nicely. Off the dribble, Skiles with the jump shot. Mark with a tremendous effort. And the ball goes out off in.
However, the Knicks get it. No, it was deflected out. Last touch by Wilkins. Got a piece of the inbound pass. 22nd timeout taken by Orlando. Minute 28 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Knicks 116, the Magic 109.
Coming in tonight, the Knicks holding their opponents 10 out of the last 11 games under 100 points. But a different story this evening. The Magic had a 50-point half, and they've done even better in the second half.
Following tonight, the Knicks will head to the West. Thursday, they'll play the Nuggets in Denver, going up against Dikembe Mutombo and the Denver Nuggets. 9 o'clock start on MSG. Saturday, they'll be in Seattle, and Sunday at Portland. Portland Trailblazers at 48-20 have the best record in the Western Conference. And they have 127 of 33 at home. Always a very difficult place to play. Again, the foul called on the Knicks. And again, it Starks. That's 5 on John Starks. Patrick Ewing looking to quiet Starks down. He does not want Starks to pick up a technical.
Starks always walking the fine line between aggressiveness and over-aggressiveness. He always wants to play tough. That's his game. But he's getting in trouble now.
Well, you can see while the Knicks have been horrendous at the foul line, the Magic now 24 for 26. Matt Gukas continues to shuffle. Corkiani is back to Smith. And the Knicks lead is only 5 with 1:25 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Knicks will welcome the sound of the final buzzer. 1:15 to go. 15 on the shot clock. Jackson. That was deflected. And Hugh Holland says last touch by Orlando. The Knicks will get it back with 6 on the 24. The Knicks have only 1 timeout remaining. Orlando with 2 full timeouts left. Jackson, 3 on the 24. Rebound Mason.
Jackson way off the mark. Fortunately, his teammate was right there.
Knicks by 7. 55 seconds left in the fourth. Skiles eluding Jackson, finding Corkiani. And it will be Orlando ball.
It's an unselfish play. The problem is, though, Corkiani is not going to deal with Ewing or other bigger players down low, even though he had great position. Skiles should have taken a jumper.
10 on the 24. Skiles for 3. Ewing with the rebound. Here's Starks. Knicks should be in no hurry right here to play with the clock. Lead by 7. And the foul is called. Foul given by Bowie. The Magic just trying to stop the clock, and Ewing will go to the line. Here in the fourth quarter, Patrick Ewing is in only 3 for 7 from the free throw line. Overall, he is 5 for 10.
Well, you got to give this team credit. They don't have their 2 top scorers. They're undermanned at every position anyway. Not every position, but just about 4 out of 5 anyway. And they have made this game interesting right down to the final 30 seconds.
So Patrick Ewing hits on both. The Knicks lead 121-11. Orlando calling for time.
Don't be fooled by misleading ads. Get the advertised product at the advertised price. Buy from someone you trust. Nobody beats the Wiz.
People who want to write sports for us don't give up easily.
You again. Most points in the game, Knicks.
60, Bernard King.
What was the president's batting average at Yale?
251.
First home run, New York Mets.
Gil Hodges.
How many people at the first Super Bowl?
61,946.
What were their names?
Names?
To keep up with sports in New York, keep up with the times.
Hold on to beat the Orlando Magic by the score of 126 to 117. For the Knicks, it is now 4 straight wins. So let's figure this out together. On Saturday night, Orlando trails Chicago by 20 in the fourth, comes back and beats Chicago. Now the Knicks lead Orlando by 23 and hold on and